Welcome to the America 250 PA Start Here, America Did podcast, telling the unique stories that make up the diverse fabric of Pennsylvania.
Hello, and welcome to the America 250 PA podcast. I'm your host, Sydney Harris, and a happy July, everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic and safe 4th of July celebration. Can you believe it? We're just 2 years away from commemorating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the birth of our nation. It's an exciting time as we prepare to celebrate this monumental milestone in American history. If you've been paying attention to news in Pennsylvania, you may have seen that the new license plates include the Liberty Bell and the phrase, "Let Freedom Ring," an awesome unveiling that occurred this month, just 5 days after the 4th of July. In his post, our Governor Shapiro, stated, "Pennsylvania is the birthplace of our democracy and our freedom. And in 2026, we'll celebrate America's 250th anniversary right here in the Commonwealth where it all started." With all eyes on Pennsylvania, our new license plates will celebrate that heritage and remind the country that here in Pennsylvania, we will let freedom ring. Governor Shapiro and his momentous unveiling of the Liberty Bell on our license plates remind us of the importance of symbolism and how shared heritages are reflected through our symbols, which truly was great timing for this episode. To celebrate Pennsylvania this July and to mark the 2-year countdown to 2026, we here at America 250 PA are excited to take you on an audio tour of the unique and perhaps unknown official symbols of our Commonwealth. Though we would love to explore all 21 of Pennsylvania's symbols, that would be quite a lot for one episode. So we have chosen 5 for today to do a deep dive into, discussing their origin, history, and what they mean for Pennsylvania. And I am so excited to be your tour guide. Before we kick off our episode, there are 2 important things you should know. First, for something to be named an official symbol of Pennsylvania, it has to be voted on and passed by the Pennsylvania legislature and signed into law by the governor. So it is kind of a big deal. It means if you want something to be recognized as a Pennsylvania symbol, you have to go through quite the process. And this may be part of the reason we currently only have 21 symbols. Additionally, if you're listening to this podcast on our website, you will also have access to our photo and resource guide. Let's get started. For our first symbol today, I wanted to start with something that I think every Pennsylvanian can relate to. Imagine this. It's a warm July night. The sun is dipping below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange, pink, and purple. You are sitting in your backyard enjoying the sunset, or perhaps even roasting marshmallows. As the sky darkens, you look at the grass, and you notice something is all around you. What do you see? Now, I'm hoping you didn't say mosquitoes, but instead the glowing lights of fireflies. Growing up in Pittsburgh, we called them lightning bugs, but whatever you call them, these little luminescent beetles are known for their ability to bring light, joy, and even magic to Pennsylvania's summer nights. From the end of May to even the beginning of August, fireflies light up our yards, our farms, and even our cities. And get this, they're the official insect of Pennsylvania. Let me take you back to 1973. Our neighboring state of Maryland had just adopted their own state insect, the Baltimore checker spot butterfly. Now, a group of 26 elementary students in Delaware County, Upper Darby Township to be exact, felt as though Pennsylvania needed to join the club and have their own official insect. And they argued that the Pennsylvania firefly, also known as the Photorus pennsylvanica, was the perfect suitor. How couldn't they? It had Pennsylvania in its name. These passionate students from Highland Park Elementary made it their mission to grant their little glowing friends the recognition they deserved. With a sense of determination, they embarked on an ambitious campaign. The students sought out Pennsylvania legislators and began their quest with unwavering enthusiasm. They wrote heartfelt letters, circulated petitions, and even had colorful bumper stickers made to spread the word. Their teacher, Miss Hill, guided and encouraged them every step of the way. With the support of their parents and the entire school community, the movement quickly gained momentum. What started with just 26 students promoting Pennsylvania's Firefly soon grew into a powerful collective of 6,000 passionate advocates from across the Commonwealth. You have to imagine the stir that 6,000 students could cause in our legislature. The sight of thousands of letters pouring into the offices of PA representatives really couldn't be ignored. Each letter carried the same message: the Pennsylvania Firefly deserved to be recognized as Pennsylvania's official insect. The dedication and persistence of these young advocates was impossible to overlook. Their voices echoed through the halls of the Harrisburg Capitol complex, catching the attention of many, including Governor Milton J. Shapp. At the time, no other state had fireflies as its symbolic insect. And about 1 year after Maryland adopted the Baltimore checkerspot butterfly, Governor Shapp signed Act 59 into law in 1974, and the Photorus pennsylvanica, or rather, the Pennsylvania firefly, became Pennsylvania's official insect. And even better, the students who campaigned for their favorite insect were invited to stand with the governor as he signed Act 59. As a thank you for their efforts, Pennsylvania officials gave the students of Highland Park Elementary a bronze plaque. That plaque now hangs in the school, reminding students, 50 years later, just how powerful their voices can be. Perhaps even more unique than having an official insect, Pennsylvania also has an official amphibian, or should I say salamander. Now, as we know through one of our previous podcasts, Pennsylvania boasts an immense amount of streams and rivers. So I'm thinking our listeners may know a thing or two about salamanders. But I want you to take the image of those little salamanders you've seen in your backyard creeks and throw them to the side, because the eastern hellbender salamander, Pennsylvania's official amphibian, is quite the creature. According to the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy, who was actually a guest on our show about the rivers and streams, the hellbender is the largest salamander in North America and can even grow up to 2 feet in length. If you're looking at our photo guide, you'll see just how giant this amphibian is. In addition to its size, the hellbender is known for its flat head, a long and paddle-like tail, and its dark, slimy skin. It can grow up to 5 pounds and live for about 50 years. Let's just say this salamander's appearance has garnered it quite a few nicknames, including, but not limited to, the snot otter, lasagna lizard, devil dog, mud devil, mud dog, Allegheny alligator, and the Laverian water newt. Now, honestly, I don't think some of these names do the eastern hellbender justice. These creek and river creatures are actually known for being docile and introverted, friendly giants per se. And unfortunately, it seems as though the eastern hellbenders are at risk due to the growing reality of pollution in our water sources. Many scientists argue that the eastern hellbenders should be considered nationally endangered. Although they are not listed as endangered in Pennsylvania, they are in neighboring states like Maryland, Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana. This risk has brought these snot otters and their habitats into the spotlight. Like our last symbol, it was the work of passionate students and their love for Pennsylvania's creatures that led the hellbender to becoming an official symbol of our Commonwealth. It all started at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation science program, where 6 Pennsylvania students first learned about the hellbender. They discovered that their new favorite creek monster was at risk due to pollutants. Determined to help, this high school team began volunteering to build hellbender shelters and learn more about them. Through their work and care for these creatures, the team of high school students decided that the best way to call attention to water pollutants and the dangers that these mud dogs face is by advocating for them to be the official amphibian of Pennsylvania. And they did just that. 6 high school students drafted a bill, which they brought to Senator Gene Yaw, chair of Pennsylvania's Chesapeake Bay Commission, who became their champion. He introduced the bill to the Senate, and the team of high schoolers passionately raised awareness. They made Hellbender t-shirts, stickers, and even cookies. They continuously advocated even when their bill initially died in committee. These students stuck to their love for these funny-looking creatures and eventually stood beside Governor Tom Wolf as he, too, wore a Hellbender t-shirt. In 2019, and wearing this t-shirt, Governor Wolf declared that the Hellbender, the creature also known as the lasagna lizard, is the official amphibian of PA. And it was thanks to these students that these goofy named salamanders are now getting the attention and love they deserve. For our next symbol, let's stop looking down into Pennsylvania creeks and instead look up to the skies. Now, you might be thinking that our next symbol is Pennsylvania's official bird, the ruffed grouse. But today, I want to talk about another symbol that takes to the skies, the Piper J3 Cub, the official aircraft of Pennsylvania. It all began in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, at the Piper Aircraft Corporation. Starting in 1938, this small-town factory achieved remarkable success by producing over 700 J3 Cubs, which is an impressive feat for its time. Known for their distinctive yellow color, originally dubbed Lock Haven Yellow, these aircrafts were celebrated for their simplicity, lightweight design, and affordability. According to the National Air and Space Museum, these qualities are what propelled the J3 Cub to become a renowned training aircraft during World War II. Imagine this. In 1940 alone, 3,016 Cubs were built, and at the peak of wartime production, a new J3 rolled out of the Piper Aircraft Factory every 20 minutes. 75% of all pilots in the civilian pilot training program during World War II trained on Cubs, many of whom advanced to military flight training. Due to its fame and success, many training aircrafts are now commonly referred to as Cubs. Beyond its role in training, this iconic aircraft was later modified for reconnaissance missions under the designation L4 Grasshopper. Its small size and agility made it invaluable in the battlefield, further cementing its legacy in both civilian and military aviation. Between 1938 and 1947, this Lock Haven company manufactured almost 20,000 J3 Cubs. But the story doesn't end there. The J3 Cub's affordability and reliable design made it accessible to both civilians and veterans. My favorite fact is that many veterans sought and owned their own J3 Cub after World War II. Beyond the veterans, many people had previously only dreamed of flying could now afford to take flight. The Piper Cub quickly became a symbol of freedom and adventure in American culture, allowing ordinary people the incredible opportunity to soar through the skies. It democratized aviation in a way few aircraft had before, embodying the pioneering spirit and the boundless possibilities of flight. It was for these reasons that, in 2014, the famous J3 Cub was officially recognized as Pennsylvania's official aircraft. Governor Tom Corbett signed this designation, Act 73, into law, acknowledging the Cub's pivotal role in aviation history and comparing its success to that of a Ford Model T. PA Representative Mike Hanna, who led the campaign, expressed, "At long last, the exploits of the Piper Cub and the people who made this engineering marvel receive their just recognition. Let the world know that Lock Haven gave birth to the planes whose popularity in peace and war remains unparalleled 77 years after it first began production." If you'd like to see the J3 Cub up close and learn more about its fascinating history, I encourage you to visit the Piper Aviation Museum in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. This museum offers an in-depth look at the legacy of the Piper Cub and its impact on aviation, featuring exhibits and artifacts that bring this iconic aircraft to life. So why not take a trip and discover the story behind one of Pennsylvania's most soaring symbols? Our last symbol had quite the historical context, but now I want to take you even further back in time, say 500 million years ago. Wait, aren't we celebrating Pennsylvania's 250th anniversary? What could possibly be a part of Pennsylvania's heritage from 500 million years ago? Well, let me introduce you to Pennsylvania's official fossil, the Phacops rana, which translates to frog eyes. This fascinating creature is a type of trilobite. It seems like Pennsylvania has quite a niche for unique creatures. This extinct trilobite is known for its large, bulbous eyes. Imagine a roly-poly bug. The Phacops rana could roll itself up into a ball just like our modern insects. Picture this ancient sea creature scuttling along the ocean floor, related to the crabs, lobster, and shrimp we know today. Their fossils are frequently found embedded in rocks in central Pennsylvania, offering a glimpse into a world that existed 500 million years ago. According to the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, these trilobites are among the most complex of all the animals that ever existed without backbones. Their traits included well-developed nervous systems, large antennas, complex appendages for swimming and walking, hard outer skeletons, and if that wasn't cool enough, the most ancient vision system known to scientists. There seems to be a common theme with some of our symbols: the passion and dedication of students. Just like the firefly and the hellbender, this frog-eyed fossil was brought to the leaders of our Commonwealth's attention by a campaign led by elementary school students. While details about this particular class of students are scarce, their success is well documented. Their campaign culminated in the passing of the Pennsylvania Act of December 5th, 1988, declaring the Phacops rana as the official fossil of Pennsylvania. If you don't have a reason to go out and explore Pennsylvania's diverse and beautiful landscapes, how does fossil hunting sound? Our last two symbols were quite grandiose. The airplanes that flew in World War II and the fossils from the seas that covered Pennsylvania's lands 500 million years ago. For our final symbol of the day, let's refresh with something everyone has easy access to: Pennsylvania's official beverage, milk. If you follow along with America 250 PA, you may remember that in January, we partnered with PCN to cover different stops along the 108th Pennsylvania Farm Show. One of these stops was with local Pennsylvania dairy farmers, where we discussed the importance of the dairy industry in Pennsylvania. Let me set the stage for you. Pennsylvania is home to more than 5,200 dairy farm families. With 6,100 dairies, Pennsylvania ranks second only to Wisconsin in the number of dairy operations by state. Pennsylvania is 8th in total milk production nationally. 99% of all dairy farms in Pennsylvania are family-owned. Dairy contributes $12.6 billion in annual revenue for Pennsylvania. Every one cow supports $24,000 in annual economic revenue in PA. Every 10 cows support one job. For resources regarding these statistics, please visit our photo and resource guide on our website. But it's not just about the numbers. The dairy industry in Pennsylvania is deeply intertwined with the Commonwealth's heritage and community. Many of these family-owned farms have been passed down through generations, each one contributing to the local economy and maintaining the rural landscapes that Pennsylvania is known for. These farmers work tirelessly, often through harsh weather and economic challenges, to ensure that high-quality milk reaches our tables. Dairy farming also plays a significant role in Pennsylvania's environmental stewardship. Many farms implement sustainable practices to protect the land and water resources, ensuring that farming can continue for future generations. This includes everything from crop rotation and soil conservation to managing manure in ways that enrich the soil without harming our waterways. So it's no wonder why Pennsylvania chose milk as its official beverage. Through Act 98, milk has been Pennsylvania's official beverage since 1982, honoring the dairy industry and the farmers who keep the local milk industry flourishing. Interestingly, milk is also an official symbol in 28 other states. So next time you pour yourself a glass of milk or enjoy a milkshake in this beautiful July weather, remember the hardworking Pennsylvania dairy farmers and the rich heritage that make it possible. And if you have the chance, visit a local dairy farm store or creamery, or attend the Pennsylvania Farm Show to see firsthand the dedication and passion that go into every drop of Pennsylvania's official beverage. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode on Pennsylvania's unique and fascinating symbols. From the glowing fireflies that light up our summer nights to the ancient trilobites that roamed our seas 500 million years ago, the Pennsylvania legislature has deemed that these symbols are important parts of our heritage, culture, and history. We've seen how passionate students and dedicated communities have played pivotal roles in bringing these symbols to light, reminding us that our voices can indeed make a difference. We've soared through the skies with the Piper J3 Cub and reflected on the vital contributions of our dairy farmers, whose hard work brings the official beverage of Pennsylvania to our tables. If you have a favorite symbol from today's episode, let us know on our social media. Personally, I love all the symbols, but I think the Hellbender has my heart. There's just something about an underdog, especially when that underdog is known as the snot otter. If there are any other Pennsylvania symbols you'd like us to discuss on our podcast, visit our website and share your suggestion. Remember, there are plenty left. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the symbols that make Pennsylvania unique. Stay tuned for more episodes as we continue to celebrate and explore our heritage in the lead up to America's 250th anniversary. Until next time, I'm Sydney Harris, and this is the America 250 PA podcast. Stay PA proud.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra Coleman, Executive Director of America 250 PA. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. We encourage you to learn more about America 250 PA and send us your podcast ideas at america250pa.org.
This has been the America 250 PA Start Here, America Did podcast, produced by Commonwealth Media Services. Stay tuned for more epic Pennsylvania stories at america250pa.org.